Hello and welcome to Wealthy Money TV. Today we are going to be talking about a concept that Meyer is pioneering and that many people are starting to use, and it's called rent to buy. So basically the idea behind rent to buy is it's giving you time to buy your dream house as you fix your credit. So you still get the house that you want, but you don't get to buy it immediately because you still have some financial things to configure or fix. We got you. And Meyer is going to tell you how you can get that done. Welcome, Meyer.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for coming once more to do this entire show with us. So, Meyer, please can you just explain what is rent to buy?
Rent to buy is an alternative to buying property, and we would like more South Africans to make use of this opportunity, because currently we see that sometimes a property is sold 4 to 5 times before a bank eventually approves the home loan. So that leaves the seller, the buyer, and the estate agent out in the cold trying to run around to find other buyers. So we often say that it's plan B when you do not have a bond approval or a cash buyer. The concept is very simple. We have a willing seller, we have a willing buyer, we have an estate agent that brought the parties together, or sometimes connect with themselves, and we have a property. The only missing link is a bank. So we say, let's put the bank, let's put the bank 2 years further away, or 18 months further away. We don't need them at the moment, because we've got most of the ingredients to actually bake this cake.
Yes.
And the cake is we are going to help the buyer to actually secure the property. Now what we do is we've got a couple of very simple components. The first one is a deed of sale. We sign a normal deed of sale. Quite often use the deed of sale of the estate agent, which failed now because the buyer couldn't get the bond or a bond with a required deposit together. So we put the deed of sale together. Then we add a lease agreement, so the person rents the property. And the last thing that we put together is a very simple two or three page document called the option to buy. So we're giving the buyer the opportunity to rent the property, and for the duration of a rental period, they can, any time during that period, they can exercise the right to buy. They would usually exercise this right once they actually are able to get a bond.
Yes.
So that gives them 18 months, 12 months, opportunity time to improve their credit score, to reduce debt, which will improve their affordability.
Yes.
But it's almost like going into an apprenticeship of owning your own house. Now during that time, the buyer would pay the same rental that he would have paid if he bought a property. Let's work on a R1 million property. You'll pay 10,000 Rand a month to the bank. But if you rent the same property, you'll most likely pay 7,000 Rand for the same property. Now we take that extra 3,000 Rand a month and we credit that to the buyer as he is saving towards a deposit. So every month you save 3,000 Rand. After a year, you've got 36,000 Rand saved.
Yes.
That helps you for the third leg of applying for a home loan, which is a deposit. By that time, you can go to the bank, you can show the bank, I have paid 10,000 Rand a month, which is equal to my bond repayment. I've improved my credit score, I've improved my affordability, plus I've got a deposit. So please, let's negotiate about the bond.
Wow.
The seller is in a good cash flow situation because he's getting 10,000 Rand to compare to 7,000 Rand. And on addition to that, we ask the buyer also to take over the responsibility of rates and taxes and levies. And that can be an extra 1,000 savings for the seller. So the seller used to be walking away with 6,000 Rand a month.
Yes.
Now all of a sudden he gets 11,000 Rand. Now that is not a carrot being dangled, which is quite attractive for the seller and the buyer. We say that is ultimately closing a deal for both of the parties. And the best of that, if there's an estate agent involved, they get to secure the deposit, the commission. It doesn't happen overnight, so they've got to wait a while. But I say, rather bank this transaction, that you wait for another agent to sell the property to another buyer, which may likely kick you out of transaction completely.
Yes.
So we want to have a win-win for both the seller and the buyer.
Yes. My interest is, how has the bank received this? And do people that use rent to buy, do they qualify for home loans later on?
Well, very positive, because you remember that the bank wants a client with a good profile. They want a client with a good history. So 12 months ago, the client didn't have a good history or a profile. Now, over the next 12 to 18 months, we come back to the same bank or a different bank, and we show the bank how the client has improved. They have a track record now of 12 to 18 months, and the bank can now make a very qualified decision, and they actually have a lot more information on this client compared to the normal buyer, which would like to try to get his paperwork, bond application, bank statements, all together in 14, like a space of not even 14 days. Yeah, or even shorter. Like normally you scramble around, it takes you about a day or two because you wake up, I've just signed an offer to purchase, now I must get my statements together, and it's normally a little bit of a mess.
Yes.
With rent to buy, you have a very organized profile when you go to a bank, because we build up a profile for you. We keep record every month. We have a program called My Budget Fitness, and with Budget Fitness, we help you to create your budget and get your budget fit by the time when you apply for the home loan.
Yes, wow. No, I think it's a stunning idea. But I've often wondered who qualifies for rent to buy. There's some people who are so, I guess, such lost causes in the credit world that you just can't even consider them for rent to buy.
Yes, we've had a lot of publicity on rent to buy, and obviously a lot of people contact us and they want to sidestep all their debt issues, and they want to jump immediately from zero to hero by moving into a house.
Yes.
And we ask them often, why don't you first tackle your problems, sort it out, improve your credit status, because the ultimate aim is still to qualify for a home loan.
Yes.
Now sometimes we have people that are so deep indebted that they will never qualify for a home loan.
Wow.
And then we say to them, well, it's kind of difficult to find a seller that is so patient to wait 5 or 7 or 10 years to go through a long rent to buy. But all is not lost for them, because there are also different, sometimes there is a seller with a long patience.
Yes.
And then you also have the installment sale concept where you actually can negotiate with the seller to pay the property off over a period of time. You don't actually need a bank at all.
Yes.
So we take the installment sale, we take rent to buy, and we look at the best solution for the seller and for the buyer, and then we close the deal according to either of those transactions. So they're very close to each other, the installment sale and rent to buy.
Wow, I love it actually. Thank you so much, Meyer. If anyone wants to contact Meyer, his website details are at the back on the screen, and at the bottom of the screen is his email and his phone number. So please reach out to him if you're trying to buy a home and you're feeling stuck. Highly, highly recommended. He is really incredible and understands the home buying space extremely well. So in the meantime, I do recommend that you subscribe to the Wealthy Money YouTube channel, and you also sign up for the Wealthy Money newsletters, because we do send out notices and announcements around the first time home buyer events that are being hosted. So look forward to seeing more of you. In the meantime, have a phenomenal day. Bye.
Bye.